Hi there. Welcome to our series. We've been at this for a while now. We've taken that key and we've put it in the ignition of the car. We're at a place now where we've definitely turned that car on because we know so much about those fundamentals. We have expanded to the point of putting our foot on the gas. But then the practice comes in and the enormity of our language comes in so that we know where are we going to turn, how are we going to make decisions as we drive that car. And there's many turns and angles to go as you learn how to be a literate person. So today, let's go back to something we've done in the past. We worked with shapes, and the shapes were there to help us understand this abstract idea about grammar and parts of speech. We've practiced a few already. So let's look at our guide, who is doing a wonderful job as she too learns how to be a guide and motivate a person who is a learner, who is constantly driving that vehicle, but doesn't want to have any accidents on the way. As you remember, in our previous lessons, we were playing with imagery of distinctive features. If you recall, Nahiku had some distinctive feature drawing about the word tack and also about the word drive. And as she developed her ideas of those simple words, it became clear to us that, wow, simple words can have multiple meanings. And this is what we're going to review right now and add some imagery to help us understand grammar. Grammar is an abstract form of identifying word knowledge within a sentence structure. Grammar is identifying words within a sentence structure. For the sake of our exercises here, we don't have a whole sentence to look at. So we are going to do a lot of communicating to pull out meanings of words. So let's review with our guide and learner as we look at what we have already completed.
All right, Nahiku, how about giving me a noun?
Museum.
Awesome. Okay, what shape do we have that's going to represent museum?
A rectangle.
Okay, can you show us?
And darker blue.
Okay. So Nahiku, what kind of a museum is it?
A local museum.
A local museum. Okay. So what is local doing in that what does local do? Do you see a picture in your head now?
A common place.
A common place. Okay. So what shape do we have that is going to represent that local museum? Because they go together.
They are similar.
Yes, does it give you more information about the museum?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you're adding information.
A rectangle. Since they're similar.
Awesome. Okay, so if we were talking about the local museum, would you change the order of that, or would you leave your shapes in that order?
I would leave it in this order.
Okay.
Now, do me a favor and touch and tell as you say it.
What did you say? The what museum?
Museum, local museum.
Beautiful. Nice. I like that, the touch and tell. That's a good reminder for me. And what about that local museum?
Local museum, burnt to crisp.
Oh, that's pretty tragic. So what is it that the museum did? What happened to the museum?
Somebody committed arson.
In the word so in the sentence that you gave me, what was your sentence?
Burnt to crisp.
Okay. The museum, the local museum burned to a crisp. What did it do? Just in the shortest answer you can give me.
Burned.
Beautiful. What part of speech is burned?
A verb.
And what do verbs do?
Show action and being.
Beautiful. Nice. And what shape is it that we use to represent verbs?
A red triangle.
Nice. Beautiful. So what do we have in front of us?
Local museum, burned.
That's great. Good job, Nahika.
May I ask, how did it burn, did you tell me in that first sentence?
Burned crisp.
To a crisp? Repeat that again.
Burned to crisp.
To a crisp? Crisp. What in your, looking at your shapes, to a crisp told me how much it burned, doesn't it? What shape do you think would fit after that red triangle?
Adverb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
To further give meaning to the action word.
Ding ding.
That was beautiful.
That is an adverbial phrase that you just put in that sentence. Excellent. That's how you discover this odd thing called grammar. Now, we know that she knows those shapes. We've also used another word that's part of grammar. If you remember, when Mahina and Nahiku were building with blocks and assorted objects. Let's see if they can recall what those parts of speech are.
Excuse me. So Nahiku, when we were playing with the blocks, we used lots of these types of words. Do you remember what they're called? Or do you remember any examples of them? Could you give me some examples?
Some examples would be different types of directions.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So use your hands as you explain it.
Yep. So we have
Near.
We have near. What else?
We have around.
We have around.
Behind.
Behind. If I say go there.
Below.
Below. Yep. What are some directional ones that you know?
Diagonal.
Diagonal. Where are you going to go after we leave here?
An appointment.
An appointment. Are you going to an appointment? Did you hear any?
Two.
Okay. And we call those types of words what? Or what do we call those types of words?
Prepositions.
Prepositions. Okay. Now tell me, touch and tell, what's going on here?
Local museum. Burnt to crisp.
Okay.
Two.
Nice. You heard it.
And being recognized by this arrow shape.
Nice. Okay, so that orange arrow shape is going to represent our...
2.
Which is a preposition.
Preposition.
Okay. And we had 2 a crisp.
A?
And I don't think we talked about that yet.
I don't.
But we are, yeah, no, because we didn't talk about that one yet. So we're going to use this interesting shape here, which actually doesn't appear on our list. And we're going to use this shape when we're for the, a, or an. Does that make sense? Okay. So in this case, where is it going to go? And what does it represent?
A crisp.
Okay. So can you read touch and tell what you have in front
Local
of us?
museum burnt to a crisp.
Very, very cool. All right, so those are how many different objects do we have on your playboard?
6.
6. Let's see if we can get to one more that is found within a lot of literature and a lot of social studies and science books that you read in school. These are words that do this. They join together phrases that are embedded in sentences. There are several of these, but this connection, C-O-N, pulls together these 3 words that are used as a connection but mean totally different things. Let's look and listen.
Okay. And I'm going to do a totally different, we're not going to use the local museum. Okay. All right. So, Mexico.
May I suggest first dumping what you have so you don't see it anymore? It's gone.
So, Nahiko, a little while ago, I asked you what you're going to do with your afternoon today, and you said that you are going to an appointment, right? Is there anything else that you're going to do after that?
I kind of want to buy tofu. I forgot to buy that at the store.
Okay, so this afternoon you have an appointment. Can you tell me what else?
And would like to visit the store. I would like to purchase tofu.
So can you tell me what are the 2 things that you want to do this afternoon?
Go to an appointment and purchase tofu.
Beautiful. So this afternoon you're going to go to an appointment and purchase tofu. What did that word "and" do?
A transition word to add in.
It's yes, it helps us to transition in our thoughts. And you said, what did you say?
That's all.
No, you said add. I heard you say add. You said it helps us to transition our thoughts and add what?
And add more meaning.
And add more meaning and add more information. Right? So, part 1, I'm going to an appointment. And that is lovely. That's a lovely thought all by itself. But when you wanted to add information to that, what word did you use? And. Yeah? Okay. Maikai. Let's say you didn't have time to do both. And you had to choose between the 2. Is there a way that you could communicate that idea?
Sacrifice one of them?
So how would you say that? This afternoon?
I may have to decide on either the appointment or the purchasing of tofu.
What's that last thing you just said?
And
No, you didn't say and.
true.
No, you said this afternoon I have to choose between either going to my appointment.
Or purchasing tofu.
Or purchasing tofu. What's that little word over there that told me that you have to, that you can't do both, you have to, right?
Or
Or you have to make a what between the two?
I feel like this gives space to the ideas.
Give space to the ideas so that you can think about it, right? We give space, we think about it so that we can do what?
I don't know what that is.
Make a decision.
Oh.
Make a choice. Yeah? You cannot do both. You have to do one or the other. Okay?
Exciting.
Okay? So when we used and, what two thought? What was that?
Decision
sentence?
making?
When we used and, was it
And.
decision making? It was.
It
what?
was contemplating just both.
It was adding information.
Oh.
Yeah. I want to have an appointment. Oh, and I'm going to go buy tofu. So you added information to that. And what was it when we used or?
Choose
Choose between what?
appointment and tofu.
Appointment. Yes, between you're going to your appointment or purchasing tofu. Really, 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 really important.
Just one small word and it can make a total difference in what you're saying.
Huge, huge difference, right? Now, let's try another one. Two choices. Appointment, buying tofu. You want to do both. There's not enough time.
But there's not enough time.
So can you give me those sentences? Not give me those sentences, but give me the thoughts. Correct, but give me the thoughts. What is your train of thought? For you said, what did you say?
But
right?
I
So
wanna
you
buy
want
both.
these? You want to do
I
these
wanna
things?
do both.
Okay, you want to do both what?
Both the appointment and the tofu. But I do not have enough time.
Yes. Okay. So what are you saying then? What is the job of but? What's that telling me? You have this in your head.
But you're also thinking of the other thing.
So the relationship between those ideas, between I'm wanting to do this, but I don't have time. So how would you, that relationship it's a contradictory
No,
relationship.
it's called a conditional.
One negates the other.
I believe it.
Conditional.
It's more of a condition because but means you don't know if you're going to have enough time or not. It's a condition. That was very good. And now let's give Nahiku a few moments to erase her board, put it into 3 columns with her 3 connecting words, and have a distinctive feature drawing for that. Then we will discover the shape that fits those kinds of words.
Okay. All right, Nahiko, we have been kind of playing around with the words and, but, and or, and deciding and figuring out what they mean and what they do to our reading and writing. And can you show us, please, how your drawings help to illustrate and, but, or?
We have milk and cookie. Milk and cookie. Showing their pair. Cookie but milk. Why? How is? I could do or first.
Okay.
Cookie with milk or cookie without milk. And oh, let me just cookie cookie but no milk.
There's a little bit of milk in there, I think.
No milk.
Oh, what is this one again?
Cookie but no milk.
Nice.
All right, so put them into a thought pattern for the audience so they can understand your imagery. Go ahead.
Cookie and milk.
So in that picture, you have cookie and
I have cookie. I have a cookie and milk. I have a cookie but no milk.
Okay.
And cookie no milk or cookie and milk?
meaning you have in your last one, what do you have available to you to decide in your or?
The option to have milk or not with your cookie.
These words, Nahiku, connect your thoughts. They did it with imagery for people watching. In grammar, those connect, and it's C-O-N is a morpheme that means to go with or to connect. Looking at your Ivan P. cap sheet, what shape do you think you would use to connect these thoughts?
Con means to join things.
To connect them. Like what kind?
Do you see one of these items? Do you see one that starts with a con? Do we know that word? Let's try.
Con.
Yes. T-I. So you said con?
Jen.
You said it the first time, con.
Congen.
What are some of the sounds that the U makes? Con.
Conjunction.
Yes. What did you just say?
Conjunction.
Conjunction. Yep. Beautiful.
Remember, I don't know if you heard it, Nahiku. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? It's a song about grammar. You may not have gotten that song in school.
I don't think she did. But
Let's
I think I might
remember,
show them.
Nahiku is in Hawaiian immersion school and has been her entire time in school. Thanks, Nahiku. So, what shape did you find? Let's find it.
An orange triangle.
With
Investigate it.
distinguishing characteristic. Does that orange triangle have any distinguishing characteristics?
It's 2 holes in it.
Yep.
And in your opinion, what would those 2 holes represent?
I don't,
Okay, that's fine. So I like that when Miss Elizabeth did this, right? So we've got two things that were what? When we use a conjunction, we are joining things. So for me, I didn't know why they put two pukas on this triangle. But if I'm trying to make it make sense for myself and have meaning for me, I'm just going to think of it like, oh, these are adding two circles coming together on one piece. And that's how I'm going to make sense of it for me. Two things coming together. Right? Because what's meaningful for you is what matters. But that's the way I think about it. Two circles being connected, two things being joined. Okay?
Excellent. Our guide and our learner have just discovered through talking and imagery the meanings of some very important parts of our language that are embedded and changed depending on where they are in a sentence. So let's watch Nahiku and Mahina as they tackle some sentences and identify some specific words and how those words are arranged in the sentence. Now, let's watch Nahiku and Mahina as they read through some sentences and discover what those key words are. Our key words are any form of chip and any form of change.
All right, Nahiku, let's see if we can do a little bit more with meaning and understanding how the role that certain words play in a sentence. So would you be able to, or would you please read the first sentence for me?
The chips tasted salty.
Okay, and remember that the two main words that we're focusing on are chip and change. And we're going to look at different ways that those words can be used. And so what is this sentence about?
The chips
And
taste
yep, and how did they taste?
salty.
Awesome. Okay, so in this sentence, the chips tasted salty. Tell me a little bit about the chips.
They tasted salty.
And is this, is
Just simply, what is the chip?
what is the chip? In terms of this, what is the chip?
But answer the question first. What is the chip?
What is the chip?
What is the chip?
So you want her to say, is it a noun? Is it a verb?
But you've got to first know what it is. Is it the thing that goes in the computer?
Is this the thing that goes in the computer?
No, it's the type of thing you would eat.
Okay.
So it is a thing. You just figured that one out.
So why don't we go ahead and this time we'll indicate by writing, what represents the noun, right? Our noun is our dark blue rectangle. And we can just, yep. And you can. So that's fine for today?
fine.
Okay, awesome. Now, this next sentence.
And may I suggest at this time for people who are watching this, often when you have many sentences, one right after the other, how do we separate them so we all know what we're looking at through the TV camera? So let's take two pieces of paper, one above the sentence and one below the sentence, so that the camera sees the sentence.
You don't understand what?
The paper thing.
Oh, it's just sometimes when we look at a lot of print, it gets overwhelming. So then what we can do is we can do this. And then all we're focused on is the task at hand and we don't get distracted.
And then you can put your shapes above it and it's easier.
Yep. Okay. You want to tell me what's going on in this sentence?
Carly
Uh-huh.
Carly changed your $10 bill into a bunch of $1 bills.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Carly changed your $10. Just redo it. Carly changed her $10 bill into a bunch of $1 bills.
Okay. Again, I heard
Your
Okay, my cutty. Yep. And so what happened?
she changed
Okay. So what is changed?
in this sense. In this sentence, it means change as in cents or lower
In a motion, what would you do if she changed it? Is there a motion you could show?
I don't know what that word is.
Watch Mahina.
So
Exchange.
could you, huh?
Exchange money.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you a bill. I see though, it's because she's changing it into change, right? So in this one sentence, the two forms of the word are implied.
That's right.
And I can see why that is confusing for you,
That is
Nahiku.
legally confusing. And that's why you identify what's happening in this sentence. And in this sentence, Nahiku already said what's happening. She changed something. Also, what she received back was not change in the sense of coins. It was dollar bills. So, going to that sentence again, Nahiku, CHANGED acts as what kind of a part of speech for you? Is it showing you an item or is it describing an action?
Okay. And then how would we demonstrate that?
With a red
Or
triangle.
indicate that. Beautiful. Okay. I also think that you were thinking ahead to the $6.63, and so you
That's
had
right.
that form of change in your head already. Okay, let's move on to the next one, Nahiku. And can you tell me a little bit about Janet?
Janet will give me the change after school.
Okay, and remember we're focusing on the word change. Okay, so in this sentence, is change a thing?
Yes.
And then what do we call things?
Nouns.
Okay, show me. Okay, great. Moving right along. Okay, can you read that sentence for me?
The change added up to $6.63.
What about change in this case?
Change as in money.
Mm-hmm. And is money something you do? Do you do money?
It is a thing.
It is a thing. So if it is a thing, we do what?
We put a noun.
It is a noun. Yep. And we put the dark blue box. I think we have one more.
Use your pointer.
Okay. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
While changing, while Chipping away at the ice, the fisherman dug a hole.
Okay, so now the word chipping, we see that it has that, oh my gosh, the word is not coming to me. It has the morpheme added, yeah? So what's going on here? While chipping away at the ice, the fisherman dug a hole. Chipping. Tell
It's
me
a
about
word
chipping.
of action.
Okay. What's he doing?
Chipping
Okay. Beautiful.
of verb in this.
Yes. Yes. I second guessed myself there for a second, not you. I did not second guess you for an instant. Okay, very good.
Very good. And with young children, you might want to have them show chipping at the ice and handing people the change. But Nahiko is older, and she can, because her language coming out of her mouth exceeds for her, it shines for her, she can do it without having imagery. Very good. Thank you. Mahalo for tuning in. You've just experienced another piece of the English language fundamentals. It's as if we're braiding a strong rope. Join us again. Ahui ho.